Joining us now is Mark Klein, CEO of SuRo Capital Group, which owned CoreWeave before it came public, continues to be a shareholder. Mark, my sense is that CoreWeave is a potential beneficiary, especially of this hyperscaler spending that we heard about from Meta and some others, and that cutting restrictions on foreign buying would be a plus for them. What else could color the sense of momentum in this report?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for having me on. I don't think it'd be underestimated the concerns that folks had as we were in the end of Q1 about where AI infrastructure spend and AI spend would be. I think the reiteration of commitment to spending from Microsofts and the Metas and Amazons and Alphabets of the world, aggregating $325 billion for this year, and all-in aggregate spending of close to $400 billion in spending in AI and AI infrastructure is an extreme catalyst for a company like CoreWeave. When you put that on top of the government commitments that you've heard, whether it was Stargate, the EU initiative, and now the news out of Saudi, you have a backdrop for what is considered the platinum provider of services, and AI services and AI infrastructure services. So all of that, yes.
But how does an investor measure that? Because, you know, we got CoreWeave, got Supermicro out there as an infrastructure play, Dell, of course, still. What are the metrics that investors should look to sort of verify that platinum status?
Well, it's clear by the ongoing commitment and contracts that they're receiving that they are the preferred provider. And when you see all these different companies, OpenAI awarding an $11.9 billion contract to them, that these are the top of the pile of AI companies are looking to CoreWeave as their providing services. Nvidia, not only as an initial investor, Nvidia as investing in the IPO, they are a preferred vendor of Nvidia. All of that leads to the fact that CoreWeave is the company that folks want to do business with.
Yeah, I mean, is your sense that there's going to be a sort of Netflix of this market, kind of content provider-wise, and then the other streamers that are trying to compete but maybe don't have the same kind of economics? Does CoreWeave have an economic advantage, or do you think it's a technology advantage that they're going to end up winning with?
I think they have both. I think they've had extreme access to capital that they've been able to deploy against their strategy, which puts them significantly far ahead of those behind them. Obviously, of the super hyperscalers that are spending a lot of their time and energy on their own work. So they are the preferred provider, and they have proven time and time and again that their technology, their ability to execute, the fact that they don't have downtime in their systems is a competitive advantage for them, unquestionably.
What happens when and if investors start to be concerned about profitability for a younger scaling company like CoreWeave versus some of these other infrastructure names?
I think what you want to see is continued revenue growth. As you said on the top of the show, they beat revenue. They were 980 some odd million as opposed to 859 million in Q1. I suspect they will give some level of guidance on their conference call later, and that will probably be encouraging as well. They'll probably go into their RPOs, or sort of their forward-looking contracts. All of that, I think, will bode quite positively for the public. I think this company has been a bit misunderstood. Okay. I think they came public during a really tumultuous time in the market, and they've now showed that they are quite productive. They are clearly at the top of the pile. They are the premier provider, right? And I think that's what the public will realize.
Speaking of turbulence in the markets, there's been a rush over recent days for this IPO window. Do you think that lasts?
Yeah, look, I was one who came in this year and was looking forward to the so-called IPO parade that would start with CoreWeave and continue. Obviously, the tariffs and some of the economic news led to extreme volatility in the marketplace. You now have a more bullish backdrop. As you said, eToro came public and was well received. Chime recently flipped to a public offering. I think you will start to see the IPO market reemerge again, and we're looking forward to it.